Take a look at these roads. This is where human courage gets tested. To cross them, you have to gamble with danger at every step. Every single meter becomes an unforgettable experience for anyone who dares to continue. Today, join us as we begin a journey to explore 25 of the most dangerous roads on Earth. Routes so extreme, so unbelievable, you might not even think it's possible for anyone to survive them. Bayburt-Of, Yolu, Türkiye. Do you have nerves of steel to navigate these roads this time? And we're in Bayburt-Of, Yolu, Turkey. Dubbed the Road of Death, Türkiye's Bayburt D915 has been voted the most dangerous road in the world. This road is about 106 kilometers long, but the most terrible section is at the Zyl Pass. Here you face 29 hairpin bends so sharp that trucks often cannot navigate them all in one go. What's noteworthy is that this road has no guardrails. Just one small mistake and the car will plunge straight into the abyss. It was built for tourism purposes. It was constructed by the Russian army in 1916 during the war with the Ottoman Empire. North Yungas Road, Bolivia. Due to extremely poor driving conditions, the Yungas Road in Bolivia is nicknamed the Road of Death. This road connects Bolivia's capital La Paz with the lower Yungas region in the Amazon rainforest. To do so, the road must traverse the majestic Cordillera Oriental mountain range. Starting from La Paz, the first Yungas Road climbs to an altitude of 4,650 meters at the La Cumbre Pass. This steep slope of over 3,650 meters is one of the longest continuous downhill stretches in the world. According to some estimates, between 200 and 300 people die on this road each year. Fairy Meadows Road, Pakistan. This road is approximately 16 kilometers long, starting from Raikot Bridge on Karakoram Highway and leading up to Tarto village. This is a narrow rocky dirt road carved directly into the side of the mountain by the hands of the local people. There are sections just wide enough for a small convertible jeep nicknamed the Unreal Places. You can't make a U-turn, you can't avoid oncoming traffic unless one side reverses for kilometers. With unpaved roads made only of gravel and sand, even a light rain or minor landslide can make the surface incredibly slippery. And only experienced local drivers are allowed to drive here. Zoji La Pass, India. When it comes to high mountain passes and treacherous roads, Ladakh in India is the first name that comes to mind. And those familiar with the roads in Ladakh think of Zoji La Pass. Located at an altitude of approximately 3,528 meters, this pass separates the Kashmir Valley from the Dras Valley. It is situated 9 kilometers from Sonamarg and is an important link between Ladakh and Kashmir. Located on National Highway 1 between Srinagar and Leh, this pass is considered the second highest pass after Fotula. Karakoram Highway, Pakistan. To understand the dangers of the Karakoram, we must look at the cost of its construction. Built through a collaboration between Pakistan and China from 1959 to 1979, it is approximately 1,300 kilometers long. There's a famous saying that every kilometer of road costs a life. Around 810 Pakistani and 200 Chinese workers have lost their lives due to landslides, falls into ravines, or mine explosions. Its highest point is the Khunjerab Pass, located at an altitude of 4,693 meters above sea level. This is the world's highest border crossing, where the air is so thin that simply breathing is a challenge. Dalton Highway, Alaska. The Trans-Alaska Pipeline, also known as the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, is one of the northernmost roads in the world. Initially, this road was built to support the development of the Trans-Alaska Pipeline and to serve the oil fields. The first thing to know about the Dalton Highway is that it's not an ordinary highway. If you plan to drive on this road, remember that driving conditions are very difficult year-round and services are extremely limited. The terrain begins with northern forests, crosses the Atigun Pass in the Brooks Range, and then transitions to Arctic hills and mountains. Typically, the roads are rough in both summer and winter, so it's important to drive a vehicle that's properly equipped for the conditions. Skipper's Canyon Road, New Zealand. If I had to use one phrase to describe driving here, it would be dance on the blade. The road is carved directly into the side of shale, a type of rock that crumbles easily. Not only are you facing a deep abyss right next to your tires, but you also have to worry about rocks that could fall from above. The road is so narrow that two cars going in opposite directions can barely pass each other except for a few rare widening spots. On one side is a sheer cliff, on the other is the turbulent shot of a river below. The margin of error here is zero. It's unreal places. Atlantic Ocean Road, Norway. It is a national scenic route where the power of nature and engineering combine to create an unforgettable driving experience. Completed in 1989, after a construction period that endured 12 hurricanes, it stands in contrast to the coastal landscape. The route has many ideal spots for taking photos and is open year-round. Although autumn is particularly impressive when storms can cause strong waves to crash against the seawalls. You can admire the road and the surrounding islands from a boat between Kristiansund and Molde. Guoliang Tunnel Road, China. Before 1972, the village of Guoliang, nestled atop the Tianmen Mountains, was almost completely isolated from the world. The only way to reach the village is to climb the Stairway to Heaven, a steep, narrow, and extremely dangerous stone staircase. In 1972, a group of 13 young men from the village decided to undertake a project digging a road through the Rocky Mountain. Because it was carved entirely by hand, the road surface and rock walls are very rough and uneven. The dark tunnel winding along the mountainside creates deadly blind spots for drivers. Stelvio Pass, Italy. The pass is a mountain pass in the Alps, located at the northwestern foot of the Ortles Mountains in northern Italy. One of the highest road passes in Europe, it connects the Venosta Valley in the northeast with the Tolina Valley. The winding road, built between 1820 and 1824, offers spectacular views of the nearby glaciers. With a total of approximately 60 hairpin bends, this road has made it onto the must-visit list for many road trip enthusiasts. It remains important for sports as it is open from May to November. Countless cyclists and motorcyclists struggle to reach the highest point in the Eastern Alps. Leh-Manali Highway, India. Located at an average altitude of over 4,000 meters, the approximately 428-kilometer-long road connects Manali with Leh. This is a strategic lifeline, but also a nightmare for faint-hearted drivers amidst the unreal places. The most dangerous thing here isn't just the sheer cliffs, but the oxygen deprivation syndrome. At an altitude of 5,328 meters, the air is so thin that even a slight movement can make you dizzy. You might start in bright sunshine, but just 30 minutes later, you're caught in a snowstorm, even in the middle of summer. Kishtwar-Killar Road, India. Known as the Cliff Road, it is a narrow, notoriously dangerous mountain road in the Himalayas of India. Famous for its sheer cliffs, rugged terrain, and breathtaking scenery. This is a dramatic and high-risk route for adventurous drivers and motorcyclists. A winding mountain trail carved into the cliffs is often only wide enough for one vehicle to pass through. But besides that, it's a major attraction for adventure seekers and off-road enthusiasts. Sichuan-Tibet Highway, China. This is a nightmare for drivers because of the constantly changing terrain from the Sichuan Basin up to the roof of the world. This route requires crossing at least 14 high mountains, including peaks like Khhyber Mountain, which is 5,000 meters high. Ranked among the roads with the highest traffic accident fatalities in the world. This is a classic stretch of road with a series of hairpin bends that drop in altitude from 4,600 meters to 2,800 meters. A small mistake with the braking system here will leave no room for error. During the rainy season, huge rocks can fall at any time, or an entire section of road can disappear after a heavy downpour. Hana Highway, Hawaii. This is a 64.4-mile stretch of road in Hawaii connecting Kahului with the town of Hana, east of Maui. It is notable for its winding, narrow terrain, crossing numerous bridges and sharp bends through tropical forests. Although the distance is relatively short, the journey takes about 2.5 hours due to the rugged terrain. In the 16th century, King Pialani of Maui undertook a major infrastructure project known as the Alaloa Road. The road, constructed from hand-joined basalt slabs, plays a crucial role in facilitating travel and communication throughout the island. Taroko Gorge Road, Taiwan. Located within Taroko National Park, it's famous for its sheer marble cliffs and the turquoise Liwu River flowing below. However, behind that picturesque beauty lies one of the most challenging roads on the planet. The road is carved directly into the cliff face, creating an extremely narrow space barely wide enough for a bus to pass through. Due to its location in a storm-prone area, heavy rains frequently cause landslides and rockfalls, the biggest threat to tourists. Even a minor earthquake would be enough to turn those massive rocks above into deadly falling objects at any moment. Khyber Pass, Pakistan. Located in northwestern Pakistan along the border with Afghanistan, this is a historically significant route. It stretches approximately 53 kilometers and reaches an altitude of 1,070 meters at its highest point. The Landi Kotal Fort. This narrow road has long served as a vital link between Central Asia and the Indian subcontinent. Currently controlled by Pakistan, the Khyber Pass includes both paved roads and caravan routes used by ancient travelers from Persia. In the 1920s, the British built a railway line through the Khyber Pass, passing through 34 tunnels and crossing 92 bridges. Every day, around 300 trucks carrying weapons and other supplies pass through the Khyber Pass. Col de la Bonette, France. If I had to use 3 words to describe this route, they would be epic, solitary, and dangerous. The most distinctive feature that makes it famous is a bypass road, built to push the altitude up to 2,802 meters. Although the road surface is fairly well paved, don't let that fool you. The dangers here are very specific. Unreal Places boasts numerous, extremely sharp hairpin bends with absolutely no guardrails. Just a slight steering error can send you plummeting hundreds of meters into a ravine. '99. Bend Road to Tianmen Mountain, China. Construction of the 99 Curve, skywalk at Zhangjiajie, Tianmen Mountain National Forest Park began in 1998. The project took 7 years to complete at a cost of over 100 million yuan. It was completed and opened to traffic in May 2005. This winding mountain road begins at the foot of the mountain and stretches a total of 10.77 kilometers with 99 sharp hairpin bends. Its elevation is approximately 1,100 meters above sea level. Famous as a wonder and known as one of the 10 most dangerous roads in the world. Rohtang Pass, India. The first terrifying aspect isn't the steepness, but its very name, in ancient Tibetan Rohtang, meaning pile of corpses. It stems from the fact that thousands of people in the past lost their lives trying to cross the pass due to sudden snowstorms. This serves as a stark reminder that nature here leaves no room for error. Unlike smooth paved roads, Rohtang is frequently covered in a thick layer of mud from melting snow. Sometimes you have to drive across fast-flowing streams, cascading down cliffs onto the road. Khardung, La India. With an altitude of approximately 5,359 meters above sea level, although local signs often state the legendary figure of 5,602 meters. The terrain here consists mostly of rubble-muddy ground from melting snow and sheer cliffs without any barriers. Temperatures can drop to -40 degrees Celsius in winter, and snowstorms can strike at any time, even in the middle of summer. At this altitude, oxygen levels are only about 50% of those at sea level. Altitude sickness can cause disorientation, nausea, and even pulmonary edema. The engine's power is significantly reduced, and the braking system is prone to overheating or losing effectiveness due to pressure fluctuations. Trollstigen, Norway. This is the northernmost section of Highway 63 between Åndalsnes and Valldal. This 6-kilometer mountain pass features 11 hairpin bends on a 9% gradient, with the highest point of the pass reaching nearly 850 meters. Due to its narrow width and extremely sharp curves, vehicles longer than 12.4 meters are prohibited from using this road. From the parking lot, it's just a 10-minute walk to an observation deck where you can admire the winding road and the nearby waterfall. After 8 years of construction, it is considered a remarkable feat of Norwegian engineering and construction. Unsurprisingly, it is one of the most visited tourist attractions in Norway. Los Caracoles Pass, Chile. The name Los Caracoles means snail pass in Spanish. The road features a series of sharp curves stacked one on top of the other, like the spirals of a snail shell. The climate is almost year-round, covered in snow and ice, making the roads as slippery as a suspended ice rink. What makes Los Caracoles so dramatic isn't the small passenger cars, but the oversized heavy-duty trucks. This is a vital artery for transporting goods between the two countries. Imagine a container truck tens of meters long having to make a 180-degree turn on a narrow road with a bottomless abyss beside it. Zyl Pass, South Africa. Statistically, and in every respect, it is the greatest mountain pass in South Africa, far surpassing all its rivals in terms of distance. Located between KwaZulu-Natal and Lesotho, built around 1950, it remains a challenging trek for four-wheel drive vehicles. With all the drama-spectacular scenery and the inherent treacherous conditions of a mountain pass at an altitude of 2,876 meters. This is a high-altitude mountainous area, so be prepared for bad weather at any time and expect snowfall at the latest. Snow has fallen on this pass in all months of the year, though not in the same year. To access from the west, via Lesotho, head southeast from Makhotlong on the A14 road through the Black Mountain Pass. Ma Pileng Pass, Vietnam. With its location featuring a sheer cliff on one side reaching to the sky and a deep abyss leading straight down. The hairpin bends are so sharp that drivers sometimes feel like they're dancing on the edge of a knife. Thick fog can descend at any moment, turning the road into a treacherous labyrinth of grey rocks. This road was built by tens of thousands of volunteer youth and people from ethnic minorities from 1959 to 1965. At that time, the only tools available were hoes, shovels, crowbars, and explosives. The suicide workers had to hang themselves on the cliff face for a grueling 11 months to chisel away at the rock. Three-level zigzag road, Pakistan. Famous for its winding roads in Sikkim. Pakistan boasts picturesque and winding mountain roads, particularly along the Karakoram highway, leading to places like Naran. With countless winding curves offering exciting driving experiences and breathtaking views of the Himalayas. The famous three-tiered winding road, with its distinctive hairpin bends, is actually located in the Zuluk region of Sikkim. While Pakistan boasts spectacular winding mountain roads, this one bears the iconic features of the Indian Himalayas. Zyl Pass, Namibia. Located in the remote Caracoles region of northwestern Namibia, Zyl Pass is not a road built by civil engineers. In fact, It is a natural trail filled with boulders, deep ravines, and sheer cliffs. With its treacherous terrain, sharp rocks can cut through tires and steep slopes pose a constant risk of the vehicle overturning. This mountain pass is named after Ben van Zyl, a regional official in the 1960s. Ben van Zyl wanted to connect the remote area with the central government for easier administration. He used the most rudimentary tools, such as hoes, shovels, and even explosives, to carve this road through the Otjihipa mountain range. Gotthard Pass, Switzerland, a mountain pass in the Lepontine Alps in southern Switzerland, is an important road and rail route connecting. Although the Romans knew of this pass, it was not widely used as a route through the Alps until the early 13th century. A long, winding highway leads through the St. Gotthard Pass. Below the pass lies the old area. The St. Gotthard Tunnel, built between 1872 and 1880, stretches over 14 kilometers and reaches a maximum elevation of 1,150 meters. A railway line runs through this tunnel, connecting Lucerne, Switzerland, with Milan. This line includes several spiral tunnels in the Reuss and Ticino river valleys. IRS Highway, Australia, spanning approximately 1,675 kilometers. It connects South Australia and Western Australia. This is the only road that crosses the Nullarbor Plain, a region whose name in Latin means without trees. When you drive for hours on end on a straight road with no obstacles or turns, your brain enters a state of automation. Drivers are very likely to fall asleep with their eyes open or lose their ability to react in unexpected situations. Eyre Highway is not for dream drivers. It's a true test of mental fortitude. BR-116, Brazil. It is a Brazilian federal highway running along the country's coast. At 4,385 kilometers long, it is Brazil's second longest highway, running from north to south, almost parallel to the coastline. This road is the cause of thousands of fatal traffic accidents every year. With its terrible road surface, bad weather conditions, and frequent hazards due to its proximity to cliffs, it's hardly surprising. Furthermore, police patrols are infrequent, and drivers are frequently attacked by gangs and armed robbers. Luxor-Hurghada Road, Egypt. It connects two of Egypt's most famous tourist destinations, the ancient capital of Luxor and the Red Sea resort city of Hurghada. Geographically, it's a smooth, flat stretch of asphalt crossing a vast desert. It's been dubbed one of the world's most dangerous roads, not because of potholes, but because of the rules of the night. Local drivers have a habit of driving at high speeds at night, but with their headlights completely off. They believe this helps them avoid detection by robbers or simply allows them to see better in the moonlight. Canning Stock Route, Australia. Originally created by Albert Canning in 1908 to help cattle ranchers in the Kimberley transport their livestock to markets. Stretching 2,013 kilometers from Halls Creek to Wiluna and encompassing approximately 51 water wells. The Canning Stock Route is currently one of the world's most remote and challenging four-wheel drive routes. Those wishing to conquer this route need to be extremely well prepared before departure. Experience traveling in remote areas is essential, along with a reliable and well-functioning vehicle specifically prepared for long journeys. Kabale-Kisoro Road, Uganda. The winding road through the Kigazi Mountains will present you with continuous hairpin turns on steep cliffs. Due to the high altitude, dense fog frequently blankets the roads in the early morning, reducing visibility to almost zero. Local residents recount that every bend on this road is associated with tragic accidents in the past. Previously traveling from Kabale to Kisoro could take an entire day because vehicles frequently broke down on the slopes. The danger of Kabale-Kisoro no longer lies in potholes or muddy terrain as before, but in the psychological aspect. Zyl Pass, India. Located at an impressive altitude of 5,360 meters above sea level, Zyl is the main gateway to Pangong Tso Lake. It is the world's third highest road accessible to motor vehicles. The name Zyl means South Pass because at this altitude, the amount of oxygen in the air is only about half that of sea level. Soldiers and drivers passing through here without stopping to pay respects or ask for blessings from this saint will encounter bad luck. It creates a strange spiritual atmosphere in this arid land where people feel insignificant before the gods and nature. If you want to find your limits, focus on the handlebars when climbing the Zyl slope. Mana Pass, India. A high pass in the Himalayas in Uttarakhand, India, marks the border with Tibet, China. Known as one of the world's most accessible points by motor vehicles, it is located near the villages of Mana and Badrinath. With a road built by the Frontiers Organization for military use, it requires a special permit for visitors. This is only necessary for ordinary citizens issued by SDM Joshimath, along with identification and vehicle registration papers. It's best to visit during the warmer months, as the area is often covered in snow for much of the year. North Coast Road, Mauritius. This isn't a modern highway, it's a test of both mental fortitude and driving skill. On one side is a sheer cliff, on the other, a deep abyss, stretching straight out to the Indian Ocean. This road is famous for its sharp hairpin turns so steep you feel like the back of your car is about to fly out into the sea. Sudden tropical downpours turn the road surface into a slippery battleground, while fog can obscure visibility in just seconds. Locals say that this road was built during the colonial period, originally intended as a trail for horse-drawn carriages. Cotopaxi Volcano Road, Ecuador's part of Ecuador's stunning Volcano Avenue. A route along the Trans-American Highway offers breathtaking views. One of the world's highest active volcanoes, along with opportunities for hiking. However, accessing the higher points requires four-wheel drive vehicles and adaptability due to the altitude and harsh conditions. This area is very high, so acclimatization, appropriate equipment, and hydration are crucial. Highway routes can be challenging, posing risks of strong winds, bad weather, and thin air that can affect vehicle performance. A 537 Cat and Fiddle, UK. This is a road in England, located between Buxton and named after the Cat and Fiddle Inn pub. Formed from sections of the A537, A54, and a 53, this road is famous for its spectacular views of the Greater Manchester urban area. It is extremely popular with motorcyclists and is often ranked as the most dangerous road in the UK. The route can be considered to begin in Buxton at the intersection of the A53 and the A5004 Long Hill. It follows the A53 through the western suburbs of Buxton until it turns right onto the A54 at Ladmanlow. Kolyma Highway, Russia. The story of the Kolyma Highway begins during the Stalin era, a project connecting Magadan with Yakutsk for resource exploitation. The road was built by hundreds of thousands of prisoners from the Gulag labor camps. In extreme working conditions, lacking food and rudimentary tools, tens of thousands perished. Because the permafrost was too hard to dig deep graves, the bodies of the deceased were buried directly beneath the surface. The road slopes steeply from the surface and is surrounded by dry stone walls for almost the entire length of the road.